Hey everyone, and welcome! Today, we are diving into a tool that is an absolute game changer for parents and caregivers. We're going to walk through step by step how to create the perfect sensory bin for your toddler.
I mean, is there a parent on the planet who isn't looking for this? It's the ultimate goal, right? Finding something that's not only good for your kid, but also buys you just a few minutes to breathe? Well, believe it or not, the answer is surprisingly simple.
And this is it, the sensory bin. Seriously, just think of it as a personal, tactile treasure chest for your toddler. It's this amazing, self-contained little world of exploration that you can whip up right at home.
And look, this isn't just about keeping them busy. This is some powerful, expert-approved developmental play. Big-time organizations like 0 to 3 are all in on this, highlighting just how crucial this kind of hands-on exploration is for a toddler's rapidly growing brain.
So, let's get into the why, because the benefits here are just huge. Research from places like Michigan State University Extension shows that this kind of play literally builds the neural pathways for complex thinking later on. And those fine motor skills, when your toddler is trying to pick up one tiny bean, they're practicing the exact same grip they'll need to hold a pencil. Plus, it's just so incredibly calming. The focus it requires helps them learn to manage those big, overwhelming toddler emotions.
Okay, so you're sold. How do you actually make one? Let's get practical. Step 1 is all about the container. And trust me, this is more important than you think. It literally sets the boundaries for the play and, let's be real, for the mess.
There are really just 3 things to look for. First, try to get a clear one. It just adds this whole other layer of fun when they can see everything from the side. For size, a standard 15-quart bin is pretty much perfect for one kid. And, this is the pro tip, get one with a good, secure lid. It makes cleanup a snap and lets you rotate the bins to keep things feeling new and exciting.
All right, on to the main event, the heart of the sensory bin, the filler. This is the stuff they're going to scoop, pour, and run their hands through. It is the absolute core of the whole experience.
So you've basically got 3 main options here. Your dry stuff, like rice, beans, or pasta, is awesome because it's usually easy to clean up and makes really satisfying sounds. Then you have your wet and gooey options, think water or even shaving cream, for a much more intense experience. And super important, for those little ones who are still putting everything in their mouths, you've got taste-safe fillers, like crushed up cereal.
Now, we need to talk about safety for a second, and this is critical. The American Academy of Pediatrics has a serious warning about things like water beads. They look really cool, but if a child swallows them, they can expand and cause life-threatening blockages. So the takeaway here is simple. You have got to choose fillers that are safe and appropriate for your child's specific age. No exceptions.
Okay, moving on to steps 3 and 4, which we're combining, adding tools and a theme. This, my friends, is where you take a simple bin of rice and turn it into a full-blown interactive laboratory.
Tools are what make it all happen. You don't need anything fancy. Simple kitchen stuff like measuring cups and spoons are perfect for practicing scooping and pouring. Tongs are fantastic for building those little hand muscles. And you know how toddlers just have this deep, innate need to sort things? Throw in some silicone muffin liners. They're basically doing pre-math without even knowing it.
Adding a theme is what really takes it to the next level. I mean, a bin of black beans is fun, sure, but a construction zone with little dump trucks? That's an adventure. Giving the play a story, a narrative, can make a huge difference in how long they stay focused and engaged.
And here we are at the final step. And let's be honest, it's the one parents worry about the most: setup and safety. We're going to tackle the mess factor head-on so you can actually enjoy this without stressing out. This little 3-step method is a total game changer. First, put something underneath the bin. A shower curtain liner works, but here's a great hack. Use a fitted sheet. The elastic edges create a little wall that helps contain everything. Second, have one simple rule, like the rice stays in the box, and just be consistent. And third, make the cleanup part of the fun. Giving them a little dustpan and brush makes them feel helpful, and honestly, they usually love it. So before you dive in, let's just run through a final safety check. Be super vigilant about choking hazards. Like we said, avoid those high-risk materials completely. This is not a set-it-and-forget-it activity. You need to be right there. And of course, if you're using food, just be mindful of any potential allergies. To make that choking rule really concrete, here's the official guideline from the CPSC. They use a special tube that's 1.25 inches in diameter. But here's an easy way to check at home. Use an empty toilet paper roll. If an object can fit inside that tube, it's considered a potential choking hazard for a kid under 3. Easy, right? So when you put it all together, creating a sensory bin is so much more than just a craft project. It is a really effective, super low-cost way to build a high-impact learning environment right in your own kitchen.
And that really is the best part. Now that you have the blueprint, the only question left is, what adventure are you going to create first? A dinosaur dig? A magic potion lab? The possibilities are literally endless.
And if you're feeling inspired and want to get even more creative with theme ideas, plus get that full, detailed safety checklist we talked about, make sure you click the link in the description below. It'll take you to the complete article from howtochronicles.com that this was all based on. Thanks so much for watching.